Good morning, everyone. Thank you for taking the time out of your morning to join us on this Well Wednesday prayer. Through the men's Bible study and through listening to various sermons, I've had these things floating around in my head about Psalm 130, Philippians 4:6, and how it relates to the book of Job, which you have been studying in the morning times. So when I told Carla about making this video to share with you this morning, she was on board. So Psalm 130, verses 1 and 2, it reads out of the depths I have cried to you, O Lord. Lord, hear my voice. Let your ears be attentive to the voice of my supplications. Out of the depths is a very vague statement. And I believe this is done intentionally because if we are given a specific scenario or a specific point of what the psalmist, most likely David, was writing about, we're going to reserve this psalm for prayer in just those specific moments. But we face many depths. We cry out from many different points of despair in all of our lives. That can be a different moment. So he's making a very general statement here that we all can all relate to. We all face trials, troubles, tribulations, and need to cry out to God. We can take this to the New Testament as well, which is the Philippians 4:6 passage. As I start to read it, most people will remember and recognize it. I want to key on a certain word that is used in both scriptures. It says, be anxious for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known to God. Psalm 130 uses that same term, supplication, and Philippians 4:6 uses that same term of supplication. We need to cry out to God in our desperate times. We are all going to be facing desperate times, different issues, different problems in our lives. And that's how we can relate to the book of Job. Psalm 130 and the book of Job, they both express this deep anguish of a soul that is crying out and suffering, but still clinging to God's mercy. In Psalm 130, the psalmist pleads out of the depths I cry to you, O Lord, which is mirroring Job's desperate appeal to God amid all his afflictions and loss. Both of these texts wrestle with the human sinfulness and the seemingly silent God in the midst of our pain. Yet in the end of them, both of them, they do not despair. The psalmist reaffirms at the end of his psalm, with the Lord there is steadfast love, and with him is plentiful redemption. And just as Job, after a lot of questioning and a divine encounter, acknowledges God's sovereignty and ultimately experiences a restoration. Together, they both reveal a theology of suffering that leads not to hopelessness, but to trust in God's justice, his mercy, and the promise of redemption. The other point that has been bouncing around in my head is that as we cry out to God and we pray, we can often be left wondering, why is he delaying? What is going on? We have to remember, God does not work on clocks and calendars. He works on assignments and appointments. Perhaps your assignment hasn't come up yet. Perhaps it's not time for your appointment. We can get stuck in these worldly ideas and instant satisfaction, instant movies on demand, instant replies to text messages, 2-day delivery on Amazon or next day delivery. We want now, and now. God doesn't work like that. We have to wait on him. But as we wait, continue to pray, to reach out to him, and to call upon him, because you will be preparing yourself for his assignment in his appointment. Have a blessed and wonderful day, and we'll see you again next week. Bye-bye.